Are you PCSing to Fort Leavenworth? One of the biggest questions I hear from military families is about healthcare. Where do you go if you get sick? What if you need surgery? What about having a baby or a late night emergency with your kids? And even something as simple yet profoundly important as finding a good dentist. Well, here's the truth. Fort Leavenworth does healthcare a little differently than the big Army post you might be used to, and it might surprise you. Hi, I'm Payne, and I moved Kansas City. I get to help military families just like yours every day, and I absolutely love it. Today, we're talking about what to expect with healthcare. Let's jump right in. Let's start with Munson Army Health Center. Here's the most important thing to know. Munson is not a full-service hospital. It's a health center. That means you'll find great services like primary care for adults and children, specialty clinics such as physical therapy, behavioral health, plus routine labs, x-rays, and pharmacy services. But, and this is key, Munson does not have an emergency room. It doesn't deliver babies, and you won't find inpatient hospital stays or surgeries here. That can be a big adjustment for families who are coming from places like Fort Hood or Fort Bragg, where the post hospital can handle nearly everything. We delivered our first 2 children at Fort Campbell's Hospital and had our 3rd at Fort Benning's Hospital. So coming to Fort Leavenworth pregnant with our 4th and needing civilian medical coverage was a big change. Stick around for a tip on finding the right civilian doctor. So what happens if you have an emergency? Here's what every parent needs to know, because emergencies never seem to happen during business hours. Kids get fevers at midnight. Someone twists an ankle during Saturday soccer, right? Since Munson does not have an ER, you'll need to know your options ahead of time. The closest emergency department is at St. John Hospital in Leavenworth. You also have Providence Medical Center in Kansas City, Kansas, and then the larger medical centers in Kansas City, Missouri, including KU Med and Children's Mercy. A lot of families prefer making the drive to the larger hospitals if possible. Now, for those times when it's not quite an ER level emergency, like stitches, sprains, or sudden illness, urgent care can be a lifesaver. One convenient option right off post is NextCare Urgent Care on North 4th Street in Leavenworth. I've used them myself when I couldn't get an appointment at Munson or needed care on the weekend. What I really like is that you can check in online so you don't have to sit in the waiting room forever. If you're on TRICARE, just make sure the urgent care you choose is a participating provider. TRICARE generally allows urgent care visits without a referral, but verifying coverage ahead of time can save you big headaches. Bottom line, before your first Friday night fever, know where you're going and have a plan in place. Now, let's talk about dental care, because this one can cause some confusion. Active duty personnel will receive their dental care on post at the Fort Leavenworth Dental Clinic. But for family members, it's a different story. They'll need to see a civilian dentist in the community. Here's the catch. Many local dentists in the Leavenworth area have stopped accepting the active duty TRICARE dental program, which is managed by Concordia. That means it's really important to verify that your dentist is a participating provider before you book an appointment or receive care. Otherwise, you could be facing unexpected out-of-pocket costs. A quick check on the TRICARE dental program's online provider directory or a phone call to the office can save you a lot of headaches. Are you a member of a Fort Leavenworth Spouse and Family Facebook group? There are several pages that are full of recommendations for services by families who have gone before you and are willing to share their experiences. Type dentist or OBGYN in the search field and you'll see what I mean. Not in the group yet? Let me know and I'll help you get added. Now, if you're a retiree or a qualifying veteran, you also have access to 2 VA facilities in the area. The VA hospital in Leavenworth is just minutes from post, and then there's the larger VA hospital in Kansas City, Missouri. The Leavenworth VA offers primary care, mental health, and specialty clinics, but for major procedures or inpatient care, many veterans are referred to Kansas City. Active duty service members typically won't use VA services, but retirees and eligible veterans can absolutely take advantage of them. So here's the bottom line. Munson Army Health Center will be your starting point for most routine care if you're active duty or a family member and on TRICARE Prime. But for emergencies, surgeries, labor and delivery, and even dental care for dependents, you'll be heading into the civilian healthcare system. This setup could actually be a good thing. You'll have access to excellent civilian hospitals and providers in the Kansas City area, and you'll still have Munson coordinating your care and handling referrals. Healthcare and dental care can be some of the most stressful parts of a PCS, especially if you're used to larger military hospitals on post. But at Fort Leavenworth, knowing how the system works, including where to go when an emergency strikes, will make your transition much smoother. If you're planning a move to Fort Leavenworth or the Kansas City area and you want to learn more about life here, check out my other videos about living in the area. I also have a relocation guide that I'm happy to share with you. Just shoot me a message. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.